A silent attack doesn't always steal your data or lock your files. Sometimes it quietly turns your own computer into a profit machine for someone else. You might notice your system fan spinning louder than usual, performance dropping for no clear reason, or your battery draining faster than expected. At first, you assume it's just updates running in the background, or maybe a heavy application you forgot about. But in reality, something far more invisible could be happening. Your device might be mining cryptocurrency for an attacker you've never met. This is where the threat known as cryptojacking comes in. Welcome to BlueHat Cybersec Academy. In this video of the Malware Encyclopedia, we're going to break everything down in a smooth, connected way. How cryptojacking works, why it is so dangerous despite being silent, how attackers deploy it, real-world scenarios where it has caused massive abuse, and most importantly, how you can detect and stop it before it drains your resources. So stay with me till the end, because once you understand this, you'll start noticing things on your system you probably ignored before. So let's start with what cryptojacking actually is. Cryptojacking is a form of cyber attack where an attacker secretly uses your device's computing power to mine cryptocurrency without your consent. Instead of stealing files or encrypting data like traditional malware, cryptojacking focuses entirely on one resource, CPU and GPU power, and the goal behind it is very simple and very systematic. Attackers try to infect as many devices as possible, then quietly run mining scripts in the background, continuously earn cryptocurrency, and stay completely hidden for as long as they possibly can. And while all of this is happening, the victim is paying the price through reduced performance, higher electricity usage, hardware strain, and even a shortened device lifespan. Now, here's what makes cryptojacking really different from other types of malware. Unlike ransomware or data theft attacks, cryptojacking is designed to be invisible and long-term. Attackers don't want you to notice anything unusual, because the moment you do, they lose their revenue stream. That's why cryptojacking malware is usually built in a very specific way. It runs at low CPU usage to avoid detection. It hides inside processes that look completely legitimate. It can be injected directly into websites or browser scripts. And it is often designed to restart automatically after reboot, so it keeps surviving on the system. You can think of it like a quiet tenant inside your system, using your electricity, using your processing power, but never showing up clearly on any bill or alert. Now let's walk through how cryptojacking actually works step by step, but in a flowing way. It usually begins with infection or script injection. Attackers might send phishing emails with malicious attachments. They might compromise websites. They might exploit vulnerable plugins or outdated software, or they might even distribute malicious browser extensions. Once access is achieved, the next stage is execution of mining code. The malware or script activates and starts running mining operations, often using JavaScript-based code or executable binaries. This code connects silently to a mining pool controlled by the attacker. After that comes resource hijacking. At this point, your system begins performing complex cryptographic calculations in the background. CPU usage spikes. Sometimes GPU gets used for faster mining, and all system resources start getting quietly redirected without obvious alerts or pop-ups. And finally, there is revenue collection. All the mined cryptocurrency is sent directly to the attacker's wallet. Each infected machine might contribute only a small amount, but when thousands of devices are doing this together, it turns into significant profit. Now, cryptojacking itself comes in two main forms. The first one is browser-based cryptojacking. This happens when you simply visit a compromised website. No installation is required. A mining script runs directly inside your browser tab, and the moment you close the tab, it usually stops. This type became very common during early cryptojacking campaigns because attackers could reach users at scale just through web traffic. The second type is host-based cryptojacking, which is far more dangerous. In this case, malware is installed directly on your system. It persists even after reboot. It can hide deep inside system processes, and it becomes significantly harder to detect and remove compared to browser-based attacks. Now let's talk about real-world impact, because this is where cryptojacking becomes very serious. It has been used in large-scale campaigns, targeting corporate servers, cloud infrastructure, personal computers, and even IoT devices. One of the biggest reasons attackers love cryptojacking is scalability. Even if each infected device generates only a small profit individually, when you scale it to thousands or even millions of devices, the total revenue becomes massive. Cloud environments are especially attractive targets because they offer high CPU availability, always-on uptime, and often weak monitoring in misconfigured systems. Now let's talk about the warning signs you should never ignore. If your device is suddenly showing unusually high CPU using when you are doing nothing, that is a major sign. If it is overheating without heavy applications running, that is another warning. If fans are constantly running loud even in idle state, that is suspicious. If your system becomes sluggish for no reason, or your battery starts draining much faster than normal, especially on laptops or mobile devices, that's another red flag. And if you notice unknown background processes running, that should immediately raise concern. So how do you actually detect something like this? It starts with observation. You check system behavior using task managers or system monitors to look for CPU spikes that don't make sense. You monitor network traffic for unknown connections that could be linked to mining pools. You can also use endpoint security tools that are capable of detecting mining behavior patterns. And in browsers, you can use extensions designed to block crypto mining scripts. For more advanced analysis, you can look into process trees to see how processes are behaving, inspect system logs for unusual activity, and monitor outbound connections that don't match your normal usage pattern. Now, prevention is where most of the real protection happens. The first step is keeping software updated, because outdated systems are one of the easiest entry points for attackers. The second step is using strong endpoint protection, because modern security tools can detect mining behavior patterns before serious damage happens. The third step is blocking malicious scripts, especially in browsers, where cryptojacking can often be stopped using script blockers or anti-mining extensions. The fourth step is avoiding suspicious links and downloads, because most infections begin with phishing emails or compromised websites. And the fifth step is simply monitoring system performance regularly, because early detection can make the difference between a short incident and a long-term infection. Now let's talk about why cryptojacking is still growing today. It remains popular because it is low risk for attackers. It generates continuous passive income. It is harder to detect compared to ransomware, and it can scale easily across thousands of systems. As long as cryptocurrency mining remains profitable, cryptojacking will continue evolving and adapting. So now we reach the end of this video. Let me ask you something. If your computer suddenly becomes slow, fans start spinning loudly, CPU usage stays high even when you are not running anything, would you immediately suspect cryptojacking? Or would you think it's just a system glitch? Cryptojacking is a reminder that cyber threats are not always loud or destructive. Sometimes they are silent, persistent, and purely economic in nature. It doesn't demand your data. It doesn't lock your files. Instead, it quietly borrows your computing power and turns it into someone else's income stream. So the next time your system behaves slightly off, don't ignore it too quickly. And here is your challenge for this video. Can you explain what the main difference is between browser-based and host-based cryptojacking? Can you name at least 2 clear signs that a system might be cryptojacked? And finally, why do attackers sometimes prefer cryptojacking over ransomware? Drop your answers in the comments below. Let's see who gets it right. And if you are serious about understanding real-world cyber threats, make sure you continue with the Malware Encyclopedia playlist, because each video builds on the last and helps you see how malware actually behaves in the real world. If you found this video helpful, like this video, share it with someone who is learning cybersecurity, and subscribe to BlueHat Cybersec Academy. Because in the next video, we're going even deeper into malware techniques that hide in plain sight.